Hey everyone, it's Peter Kerr from Daydream Nation. Well, today is Record Store Day, one of my favorite days of the year, where we get to celebrate the record store. Not that we need a day as an excuse to celebrate going to the record store. I could go there 365 days a year. It's a day where there are special releases, and I thought it'd be a good opportunity to show some of the new releases that I picked up. So without further ado, why don't I show you some of the picks? Wasp, The Last Command. So this is the Blackie Lawless fronted shock rock band of the 80s and beyond. I've always enjoyed this album, produced by Spencer Proffer. I think it's a very underrated album, and I always thought this is one of the more textured, a lot of things happening on this album. It's a half-speed remaster, so there's the lyric sheet. And what makes this aesthetically pleasing to the eye is you've got this beautiful marbled yellow and black swirl on the vinyl. That is just divine. So I am so looking forward to hearing that. Probably my second favorite Wasp album. I think the first album probably slightly better, but from a production point of view, I've always thought that The Last Command is where it's at. So there you go, The Last Command. Next one, Neurotic Outsiders. This is a record store release. This is a 1996 album of a supergroup that comprised Steve Jones, Sex Pistols, John Taylor, Duran Duran, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, and Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses as well. I don't know much about it, but with the pedigree of the musicians, it should be a slamming rock album. There are the lads. Total of 16 tracks. So Neurotic Outsiders, looking forward to listening to that. Next one, horror soundtracks, Goblin. If you're familiar with my channel, I've done a few shows with Davey Gallagher about film soundtracks. I did a whole show about the Italian prog rock band Goblin and their work with Dario Argento, etc., like movies like Suspiria, Tenebrae. This one's called The Other Hell, original motion picture soundtrack from 1981. I do not know anything about the movie or the soundtrack for that matter, but what I do know that I love Goblin and their ominous, haunting, moody soundtracks, kind of prog rock, love it. So I'm looking forward to listening to that, Goblin, The Other Hell. And finally, on the Record Store Day front, Art of Noise. Now, Art of Noise was a Trevor Horn supergroup where it was kind of what you would say synth pop. Now, if you're not familiar with Trevor Horn, he was in Yes, The Buggles, and then he had his fingertips on some of the greatest albums of the 80s in regards to the pop world. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I'm talking about ABC, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, just to name a few. Trevor Horn's production fingertips were across it all. And The Art of Noise and the Making of Moments in Love. So this is one of their songs, and it's different variations of the song. So I'm really looking forward to The Art of Noise. So if you like craft work, but more of an 80s sounding production, Art of Noise is definitely for you. Art of Noise. So I'm at the record store, and my record store of choice today was Red Eye Records in Sydney. I was looking at other records that I could buy, whether it was secondhand or whether it was first release. And I thought I've recently seen Winger. There's been a few Winger shows on the channel, interview with Red Beach, catch it if you haven't, and a few clips of a show less than a week ago. Please check that out. I thought I'd do In the Heart of the Young, get that on vinyl. Haven't got that on vinyl. Winger 2, it is the second album. This has got a few hits, Easy Come, Easy Go, Loosen Up, In the Day We'll Never See, Baptized by Fire, Kip Winger, Red Beach combo. So, yeah, in the heart of the young, Winger or Winger 2. That is definitely what I'm looking forward to hearing. And finally, in the used bin, I picked this up. This is a 2020 issue of a previously unreleased 1991 album, which was the reunion album for the Buzzcocks. Pete Shelley and the Boys, 1991 demo album. So love the Buzzcocks. Singles Going Steady is, I think, one of the greatest punk single compilations of all time. Every song is a killer, but I don't know much about this album other than its tracks that were for an album recorded in Manchester 90 to 91. So I'll give that a whirl. So there you have something old, something new, not necessarily in Record Store Day on Record Store Day. I hope you've enjoyed Record Store Day. Please tell me what purchases you got on Record Store Day. We love reading your comments. Check out the shows on Rock Daydream Nation. A lot of stuff coming out. And good night and cheers.